I gained about 150 elo in Go Battle League using this team, and I'm pretty excited for today's content because we're having Alola Ninetales up in front with Powder Snow, while at the back Diggersby and Shadow Drapion will form a solid backline for our Alola Ninetales in order to be extremely strong for the meta of Great League. Over here we're having those Weather Balls which can work pretty nicely even against a threat like this Charizard, and that's why I prefer the Powder Snow version when we're looking at a team like this where you can manipulate even the fire types into shielding some of your moves. After proper calculation here, I'm just gonna go down to the Frenzy Plant and then I can go in with my Drapion, knowing that we can easily win that CMP, and before they get to the Earthquake we're just gonna reach to our Aqua Tail to finish off Meganium and preserve that shield just in case something goes horribly wrong. So with the return of the Charizard, I'm gonna press immediately my Aqua Tail to erase this Pokemon, and with Venusaur at the back, and since they are shieldless against my one shield, we definitely can win this battle even though they are on Shadow. So into the next one now, we're having the most horrible lead that you can get with your Alola Ninetales, and especially against a Carbink, which is absolutely insane. And right here we're just gonna respond with a switch to Drapion. All I want to do here is to pressure for that shield scenario, and of course the Crunch here can do exactly that. So much damage on this Pokemon, and right after perhaps the Aqua Tail can seal the deal up against my opponent. So I'm expecting the shield at some point. They definitely need the Carbink alive, right? But no, they decide to let that move go through, and now we have the upper hand towards the next one, because look at that, trainers. We're just gonna go in with Diggersby, and we have definitely and totally flipped around that very bad lead that we had before against our Alola Ninetales. So at the back they have a Galvantula, and that's looking pretty solid for our Pokemon. By tanking those discharges, we can still reach to the Weather Balls, which can just take the shields out of play and still deliver the lethal blow with our Diggersby. So now that they are shieldless and we're getting super close to the Earthquake, I'm just gonna press it as soon as possible, and Galvantula is out of the way for sure. So knowing now that they have a Carbink, even if we get hit by something like a Moonblast, we can definitely survive. So here comes now the big boom with our Earthquake on the Carbink. Get out of here, and we're gonna take this victory. So Tapu Fini now up in front, definitely not the best lead ever, and we have to stay in, otherwise Diggersby might be aligned with Tapu Fini, and that is gonna be an even worse scenario. So right here I'm just gonna go for the bait. Let's see if my opponent falls for it. No, they're not, so they definitely know their stuff here. Now gonna get the Dazzling Gleam, and they managed to catch the move on that Stunfisk. So horrible execution from my part. They were having the upper hand as well on the lead scenario, so I do not know how I can go ahead and live with myself after this battle. So over here we're just gonna get destroyed down by this Stunfisk, even though we can do a lot of solid work up against it. But as it seems they want to get to the bait with a Rock Slide, and I'm all fine with it. But still they have that Tapu Fini, which can be kinda troublesome, but hopefully we can block here the Surf. We might be able to reach to the Earthquake. They managed to catch once more, so I have done so many mistakes on this battle, and now switching out to my Ninetales. Perhaps I should have stayed in there, but it doesn't matter. Still we grab the shield out of play, which is pretty nice, and right after we will try to snipe them down with a few fire punches. I was expecting them to go for the full farm down, but as it seems this trainer wants to spend their energy, and I'm all fine with it. But they definitely did some pretty nice catches on my Pokemon here, and yeah, that was pretty awesome. So anyways, the battle is not over yet. They can still reach to a double Surf, but first we can reach to the Aqua Tail. So yeah, the battle is over, so we'll take that back, and we're gonna take this victory against a trainer who definitely read me super well here and almost won the entire battle, because I was going for some crazy nukes and they managed to catch on the best Pokemon ever. Dazzling Gleam on Stunfisk and Earthquake on a Flyer. Are you kidding me? That was some crazy stuff. So into the next one now, and we're having the Galvantula here, and since I'm seeing that they have cross poison, was that cross poison? I'm just gonna go ahead and get in there with my Shadow Drapion. So obviously I had some very good leads with this team, sometimes against Altares and stuff like that, but as you already know, I do not want to showcase leads like this. Most of the times I just cut them off my clips because it would make no sense as to showcasing to you things like this. I prefer to go ahead and showcase you battles that are hard earned rather than go in there against an Altaria up in front. That would make no sense at all because we can totally wall this Pokemon, and obviously we're gonna win only due to the algorithm if you believe in it. So anyways, just gonna go with the undercharge here because I want to farm a little bit of extra energy before getting to the matchup with a Machamp. That was a nice spam, and of course another Earthquake will just destroy down this Pokemon, so we can definitely grab this victory. Now moving forward, we're met up with a Bassodon up in front, and that is not looking that great. We still need to go in there with our Shadow Drapion, so grabbing that first Aqua Tail on their side might be kinda clutch because we have definitely put them at a point that one Earthquake can simply do the job with our Diggersby. We also managed to get out of there the Medicham, which is pretty nice, and still finish it off with our Crunches. Revealing the Aqua Tail perhaps made them think that we could go for the Aqua Tail once again, but instead we sniped them down with that Crunch while they had two shields into play. And now all of a sudden we have a Wincon up against them because look at that trainers, Earthquake is gonna connect, and of course Victory Bell cannot withstand the damage from our moves. I'm just gonna go all in here with those Powder Snows, and at some point I'm just gonna go for the Weather Ball for no reason at all, but they're gonna take it anyways, and that's gonna add up into a very solid victory for my team. So against a Jellicent, another bad lead for this line. What I told you before, well, we do not showcase Altarias and Dragonites and stuff like that, only bad leads because they are more informative and you can learn how to use this team much better as long as you watch this entire video. So I want to congratulate you if you have stayed till this limit of till this timing of the video, because not a lot of trainers are staying till the end, and that is kind of a bummer because they're missing on the good stuff that I am providing to you trainers. So over here we're having the Weather Ball, which can just do cheap damage just enough to finish them off with the remaining Powder Snows, and right here I'm just gonna press my Dazzling Gleam. They are gonna block it because they were expecting it, we had a lot of energy to spare, and right here we're just gonna switch out to our Diggersby. We cannot catch the Shadow Ball, which is kind of a shame, but still we can go ahead and pressure a lot with those Earthquakes. So one Earthquake will land, they are already on the red, and I will try to go ahead and keep those shields even more on my side. So this Surf here is gonna do a lot of work up against me, but hopefully they will have something like a Steel type, because after this Fire Punch we definitely can expect a Steel type at the back. They want to preserve that HP on their Jellicent no matter what. Able to farm down here with our Mud Shots, and at the back there is gonna be of course the Registeel, which means that a double Earthquake is imminent and those lock-ons will never be enough to farm us down. So double Earthquake is coming up and Registeel is out of the way back to its trash can. Into the final one, trainers, and I wanted to end this video with a fun battle, and here it is, trainers, the Shadow Poliwrath one. So you might be wondering, okay Ganeto, this is a good lead, how, why are you showing this to us? Well, that's mainly because this is a good lead for them. Look at what they can do. Those power punches are just gonna dominate my team, and of course in combination with the shadow counters, yeah, you can already do the math over here. So I'm just gonna let this move as well go through, because I know it is gonna be just a power punch, and right after I will respond with the Dazzling Gleam, hoping that they are gonna get it. However, they manage to block and still farm it down. So Diggersby goes in, and obviously the battle is already over, so I'm just gonna leave the battle, and that's gonna be a disappointing ending to this video, but definitely a very entertaining one. Thank you for watching, trainers, and for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and perhaps consider subscribing to my channel if you are new to my content. And speaking of my content, I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.